Thank you to BetterHelp for kindly sponsoring today's video.
Fall, sweet fall. You guys let me know, when do you start decorating for fall? Let me know down in the comments below. It is about that time, and it is definitely time to start crafting and creating so you have all of those fall items ready when it is time to start putting up all of those fall leaves and pumpkins. And I hope you're excited because we're going to be doing that today on a budget. I found some amazing accessories on the Pottery Barn's website. However, the prices are far out of budget for me. So I'm going to show you how to make them so much cheaper using Dollar Tree supplies. Before we get started, I want to say hello and welcome. My name is Shannon from TheDailyDIYer.com. If you enjoy creating your own seasonal home decor, please hit that subscribe button. Also select the bell and hit all, and you'll never miss a free tutorial like the one you're going to see today. I have 6 awesome fall Pottery Barn dupes for you today, so let's get right into that first project.
All right, so let's go ahead and do my absolute favorite project first, this faux pumpkin wreath. It retails for $89. We're gonna make ours for only about $20 using Dollar Tree supplies. You're gonna need to grab some of these packs of clip pumpkins and also one of their wire wreath forms. They have different textures. They have the velvet, they have the burlap, and they have a leather pumpkin, so you can mix them up if you want. You can do all the same if you want. I decided to grab the velvet pumpkins and the burlap pumpkins just to give mine some different texture, but I'm going to keep all the burlap ones going around the center of the wreath. So we're easily going to just clip these pumpkins right onto the second wire from the inside, and then you want to make sure to flatten that clip out so it goes underneath the third wire from the inside. And as you can see, that is going to help hold our pumpkins flat and in place. And we're just going to clip these all the way around, making sure to push them up next to each other so they're side by side. Why is this my favorite project of all? 1, because it's easy. Anybody can do this. 2, it's mess free. No glue involved. If you want to, absolutely grab your glue gun out. If you want to make sure these are permanent, you can do that. I like to not necessarily make my things permanent so I can take them off, use them in the next year in a different way. So up next is going to be the inside row of this pumpkin wreath. The inside and the outside rows, I'm going to use the velvet pumpkins on. And a tip here, as we are working on the inside and the outside rings of our pumpkins, is to clip from the top down. So the opening of your clip is going to be facing up, whereas the point of your clip is going to be facing towards your table. So you can see here, I have my inside row all clipped on, and then we're going to start working on the outside. Same exact thing. We are going to clip from the top down. That is going to secure our pumpkins. And I would also suggest kind of offsetting them so you can see the middle row. I'm actually putting the outside row in between each one of those pumpkins where the center of each pumpkins kind of meet. I did want to reference here, if you want to make this exact wreath, you're going to need 10 packs of the velvet pumpkin, 6 packs of the burlap pumpkins, coming to a total of 16 packs of pumpkins, but they have 3 in each pack, about 46 pumpkins total, which sounds like a lot, but the original, remember, was closer to $90. Ours only cost us $20. So a huge savings here and still looks super high-end and nice.
Crafting and DIYing can be great therapy. In fact, many of you have actually told me that in the comments of many of my videos, and I couldn't agree with you more. However, sometimes that just isn't quite enough, and I've been very open and honest with you here on YouTube as well as my Instagram account about my own personal struggles with grief and anxiety, and therapy has been a great factor in helping me overcome some of those struggles. No matter your own story, I'm excited to tell you about today's sponsor, BetterHelp. BetterHelp is a platform that makes finding a therapist easier because it's online, it's remote, and by filling out a few questions, BetterHelp can match you to a professional therapist in as little as a few days. BetterHelp's mission is to make therapy more affordable and more accessible, and this is an important mission because finding a therapist can be really hard, especially when you're limited to the options in your area. I've been using BetterHelp for quite a while now, and my first therapist I didn't quite click with the way I was hoping, so that same exact day I was given a new list of options and was paired with a new therapist within the next day. And I absolutely love my new therapist. It has been a game changer, a life changer. I really look forward to our meetings, and I also love how convenient it is that I can do it online and in the time whenever it's convenient for me. It's easy to sign up and get matched with your own therapist. I will have a link down in the description box. It's betterhelp.com/DailyDIY. Clicking that link will help this channel, of course, which I appreciate, but it will also get you 10% off your first month so you can get connected with a therapist and see if it helps you. And as I said earlier, because finding a therapist is a little bit like dating, if you don't necessarily match up with your first therapist, that is no problem. That is pretty common when it comes to therapists. It is so easy to switch and find a new one on BetterHelp. So if you're struggling, consider online therapy with BetterHelp. You can click the link in the description or go to betterhelp.com/DailyDIY. Thank you again to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video, and a personal thank you to BetterHelp as well for helping me get through my own struggles and helping me stay creative so I can continue bringing you videos like this one. Let's get into that next project.
These neutral fall leaf branches are beautiful, but at $59 each, there was just no way. So I was so fortunate to come across these beautiful fall leaf stems at the Dollar Tree and decided I was going to try to recreate this whole look with items that I already had. So none of this was purchased. I just grabbed them and decided to set them up the way it did look like in the picture with the help of these stems. Now, unfortunately, my Dollar Tree only had a few of the white ones, so I decided to mix in some of those dark orange ones too, which I actually am so glad that I did because it gives it that pop of warmth in my home that I really, really like. But if you can find all of the cream ones, absolutely do that if that is more your style, and you'll get more of that Pottery Barn look and feel that was in the original photo. So I just set these in there. I didn't even cut any of the branches down. This one in the front, I did take the stem and kind of bend it a little bit so it was a little bit shorter in the front so I could see more of what was going on behind it. So that is just a quick and easy way to create a beautiful arrangement that looks super high end, but only cost a few dollars. I bought 6 stems total and got a very similar look. I also love adding candles to my fall decor to get that cozy vibe. If you haven't purchased one of these battery powered USB lighters, that's another way to kind of feel fancy and high end without a huge price tag. These are only about $10, $12 on Amazon, and I'll link it down below. No lighter fluid used at all in those. You just recharge it with a USB port. Pretty cool if you've never seen those before. But anyway, I didn't have the round mirror that was originally shown in the Pottery Barn display, but I really like my antique old window in the background there. Fits my home's style and vibe a little bit better. So take those photos that you see on Pottery Barn and try to recreate them with items that you already have or with items that you can find at Dollar Tree. These cups looked really fun, but for $56 for a set of 4, I knew I could hit Dollar Tree, grab some of their clear glasses, and make my own. So the original ones are about $14 each. These are $1.25 each. And we're going to create our own using some glass paint. So this isn't the first time I've used glass paint, but this is the first time using this brand of glass paint. And I will say it takes a little bit of getting used to. It's not like acrylic paint or chalk paint. It has more of a watery consistency. We're only using 2 colors from this set, and I will link this set down in the description box below. But once I got going, this was a really fun project to work on. To make a pumpkin, you basically make a C shape and then a backward C shape and then build onto that to make the ridges of your pumpkin. Add a little bit of paint as you go and kind of go back over the paint to get those ridges and that pumpkin shape. And then I just worked my way around the glass. You just want to be really careful. Obviously, I'm laying this up against my table, so you don't want to smash your paint that you've already done. So maybe let it sit for a little while, work on the other side, or grab the bottom and hold it up so you can get all the way around. Once I got a few pumpkins, I came in with the green glass paint and painted this onto the tops of the pumpkins to make some stems. The directions of this paint also say that you should let these sit for about 24 hours, and then you will put them into your oven at 175 degrees for 2 hours, and that will cure your paint, and then you also need to let it sit for a week. So I didn't necessarily have the time to see if this would wash off over time before posting this video, so I will try to update you over on my Instagram about how this turned out, but they are super cute even if you just want to use them for decor. While I was in the glassware section at Dollar Tree, I also came across these gorgeous glasses. They have the beautiful ridges all around them. They looked like something that you would find at Pottery Barn, so I jumped on their website, and sure enough, you can get something similar, not exact, but similar for $69 for a set of 4. Obviously, at Dollar Tree, for 4, you are only going to pay $5. So there is a little bit of difference in style, but not much. You still get a really pretty high-end look with these, and you can use them for your kitchen, and you can make some beautiful iced coffee and make it look fancy in these. So I really love these, but you can also decorate with these too. Add some candles into these and you have some beautiful home decor. So these are some LED votive candles I found on Amazon. Just tossed a couple into, or one into each one of those glasses, and look how awesome the beautiful glow of those candles bounce off the ridges on those glasses. Gorgeous, beautiful. Use them in your home, especially during fall time with these warm glows, and you get a fun and cozy fall vibe. One of the things I always keep my eye out for when I hit the thrift stores are antique brass figurines or whatever I can find, because I know they are pricey. And this little leaf at Pottery Barn was almost $30. And no, I don't know how to make real brass, but we sure can make something that looks pretty close for a lot less. If you grab some of this air dry clay from the craft store, you can even get it at Walmart. I'll link some down in the description box, to Amazon, which is my favorite go-to for crafting supplies these days. You're gonna grab a big hunk off and start kneading it so you can start softening it, warming it up so you can make it more pliable and start working with it. We're gonna take a rolling pin here and flatten it out to a good size, but you do want it about 1/8 of an inch thick. Then we need to cut this into a leaf shape, and I do have a free printable that will help guide you, and I'll link that down in the description box below. I had a heck of a time freehanding this for some reason, so I just found this silhouette shape, cut it out, and then laid it on and used my weeding tool to create sort of an outline very lightly on the top of the clay so I could come back in with a knife and then cut this shape out a little at a time. So if you're having a hard time freehanding this, or if you want to, you can create your own leaf shape or cut out your own leaf shape and use whatever shape you want. You can do that, but I will have that freebie linked down in the description box below for you to download if you want to use that as a guide. Then I took my finger and I went around all the edges. They were pretty rough from cutting it out, and just smoothed all that out. Now the original Pottery Barn one has sort of its leaves curled up. So I grabbed a bubble vase from Dollar Tree, and we're gonna use that as our base so we can let this thing dry on top of it. And then once it dries, it will have that curved effect. So we're just kind of shaping it around onto the glass. And then I also decided, you know what, it's probably a good idea to add some saran wrap on there because it's probably gonna stick right to the glass. So do that before you get too far in this. You'll see that as we go here, but this is what the shape of your leaf is gonna look like from the inside once it gets dry. We're also gonna add a little tail onto our leaf. It looked like it had one in the original, so we're just trying here to mimic that. It didn't really want to stay, so I got some water out and I took that and helped glue that tail on, which helped a lot. And then I also took the water and went around all the edges to smooth those out some more too. So here I am adding that saran wrap and then relaying the leaf on top there. This does need to dry for a good 24 hours. Once it is dry, you can see this, you'll have to pop it off. You may need to let it sit for another several hours so the inside that was touching the glass will dry all the way too, but here's what it's gonna look like when it's nice and hardened and ready to paint. So we're gonna get that brass finish or faux brass finish in a couple steps. The first one is going to be painting your piece black. I like to use a matte black spray paint for this, so just go ahead, go around your piece, do 2 coats, flip it over, and do 2 more coats of that black spray paint on the top side. So here it is, all dried, brought it back inside, and now we can add our bronzing paste. So I got this on Amazon, and I've used this before. It's not a paint, it's more like a thick paste. The lid does come with a sponge in it, which you can see I've used before. But since there's a lot of edges and curves and nooks and crannies on this leaf, I just went ahead and used a foam paintbrush, and that definitely helped me get down into those tight spaces and hit all of those edges. So we're gonna start on the bottom here and just make sure to get the edges and of course all the surfaces of our leaf. Isn't this beautiful? This is turning out so close to that original. Once that back side is dried, go ahead, come back in, do another coat on the front side, and just be careful you aren't pushing down with too much force on those leaves because they will just break right off if you're not careful. Now all there is left to do is use it for whatever we want to use it for in our decor, whether you want to leave it just as it is, as a little decorative sort of sculpture piece. You could put it on a vanity for your jewelry, you could put a candle on it, or you could put it maybe by your back door to catch smaller keys. I wouldn't put too heavy of keys in there because it could knock those leaves off, but you can use this in different ways, but I think it looks beautiful just the way it is, and it only cost a few dollars versus the $30 one at Pottery Barn. I love these dried wheat bundles for fall, but I knew we could make one lots cheaper than $79. So at Dollar Tree, I grabbed one of these vases. Yellow seemed to be the closest color I could get to the natural wheat, but you could even spray paint it too if you wanted to go through that step. But as you'll see, this worked out pretty good. We're gonna start by taking my tape runner here and going around the outside edge of the vase. You could use hot glue, but you'll have to keep applying it and it just dries and it's kind of messy. With this adhesive, it's just tacky, it doesn't dry out, and then you can kind of go at your own pace as we add these wheat stalks in there one at a time. And then as you can see, the adhesive just kind of tacks it on there. It doesn't hold it on there permanently, but just enough for us to work our way around this vase. So we're going to take one stem at a time and just put a single row all the way around it. And as you can see, I am using my hand to hold everything in place so they don't fall back off. Once I got to the back side, you can see I had one kind of poking down. You just push that up so it's all flush and even on the end. And then we're gonna take a rubber band and add that to the middle here. And that's just really going to help reinforce those stems until we can get to our next step. And that next step is to add our jute. Now I got a little bit overzealous here. I just decided to start wrapping this right over the rubber band right in the middle. Just wrapped it several times and then tied it in the back, and that gave me this finished look, which is really cute and you can totally do it this way. But then I referenced the Pottery Barn photo and realized that it actually had a line at the top and at the bottom. So I took it apart and rewrapped it. Not a big deal, did not take very long at all to get more of that Pottery Barn style high-end look. I love these because you really can use them all over your home, and they even look great grouped together. So maybe 3 down the center of your dining room table, 1 on each side of the mantle of your fireplace or on an entryway table, or cute, just 1 by itself like I have in the corner of our kitchen here. Now, I actually really love this leaf-shaped stoneware platter, and at $29, I don't think that's a bad price at all for something like this, but if you want to save some money and you want the look and you don't necessarily want to use it for food, you can definitely still get that stoneware a look and effect, and I'm going to show you how to do that in a few steps. So first, we're going to grab some cream-colored chalk paint that's going to give you about the right texture of stoneware. It's matte, it kind of has a little bit of texture to it, and it's going to give us this color of the Pottery Barn original. So this tray obviously is from Dollar Tree. We're just taking our spray paint to it. Obviously we don't want to have that orange color, but we do want to add some of the detail of the leaf, like the veining. So I'm taking some orange chalk paint here, which is a little bit too bright. I'm going to knock it down a little bit with some dark brown chalk paint and mixing those together, and you'll see it'll just kind of warm up the orange paint, and then we're going to take a stiff paintbrush, go around the edges of this leaf, and then we're going to take a smaller fine paintbrush to create the veining of the leaf on the bottom. The one thing I wish I would have done different here is actually added more veining. I kind of kept it simple, but I wish I would have added some more veins coming off those shorter lines. But, you know, that's always something you can go back and do. We're going to add some more color with our bigger brush to the entire thing. Definitely was just too much orange for me. So back outside, took the spray paint and lightly coated it. So we still want to see some of that orange paint coming through, but we don't want it to be so stark and obvious. So this is the finish that we ended up with, and then you can use it in your home decor. Obviously this is plastic, it is not stoneware, so you do not want to use it for food, but it's cute for a candle. Throw some little trinkets in there, add it to a pile of books. You can see my cute puppy Honey back there. She had the perfect pose for this, and she's looking good and ready for fall too. Dollar Tree also these cute pumpkin trays, so I thought I would try the exact same technique to see how it would turn out. So the same exact process, adding some of that cream spray paint to it, and then coming in with the toned down orange paint, add in the ridges of the pumpkin and going around the outside edge, and then taking it back outside to add some more spray paint to soften up the look. And I actually really liked the pumpkin even more so than the leaf. I added some little trinkets in there, some vase filler in there, even some of those pumpkin clips from our wreath earlier, and it just looks so cute. So this may not be stoneware like the original at Pottery Barn, but I still think for $1.25 versus the $29 at Pottery Barn, we got a really pretty faux look here for a lot less in cost. Let me know which one of these projects was your favorite. Let me know down in the comments below. Also have all the links to the products I used today down in the description box. And also don't forget to click the link to BetterHelp that's in the description box as well. There'll be a link to connect with a therapist, and it will also save you 10% off your first month. I want to thank you all so much for joining me today, and I will see you in the next one. Have a creative day.